Here's what it is. Teresa and Joe met to talk. It went well. All four of them meeting to talk. Clearly the network is interested, but not interested in them working it out on camera. They're probably going to wait until they've worked it out. So we're not going to get to see the original conversations. Of course, there'll be confessionals and there'll be some sort of discussion on camera about how they made up. But I guess they're like, we have over the years done this, and like, we're not interested in having you hash it out. Get your shit together and then we'll put cameras up. Welcome to Cocktails and Gossip, the podcast where we drink cocktails, but you better believe we're going to spill the tea. We chat reality TV, celebrity blinds, and the hottest tea from BravoandCocktails.com. And as always, it's all alleged and just for fun. We do not verify our blinds. I'm B.
And I'm Amanda. Let's get into this week's tea.
What's up, cocktailers? Amanda, cocktailers, what a week, what a weekend we were on.
I mean, I swear, like the second daylight savings hits, all hell broke loose.
We have a kindly hi, cocktailers, by the way.
Hi. We have a couple of things brewing that we're really like waiting on, because I'm just going to say that. I'm going to just stay tuned.
Yeah. It could be a big one coming. But I am like, I think everybody is tired this week. I think everybody should give each other some grace.
Yes.
We're all
tired.
We're all tired. But I mean, so much going on. I'm so ready to gossip. There's been some stuff that we have had in Cocktail Party, and we got some real-time intel, which is so fun. And of course, we share this with the cocktail community and some of this with our larger community, but let's talk about it.
Honestly, it was great prep for you and I for BravoCon, because this is our third BravoCon. The first BravoCon, Bravo and Cocktails didn't exist for, because we've missed a couple years. COVID, they didn't do it last year. And my Instagram has been around since November. We're in November now of 2019. So that's 6 years I'm doing this. And then you joined me in 2020, right?
Yeah. Is that what I was trying to remember when I started following you? I think I started following you around, it was maybe the Hilaria Baldwin stuff is, I think, maybe when I found you. I can't remember. And then we launched the website in October of, was it 21? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. I want to say yes.
We need the cocktailer historians to remind us of these facts.
Yes. But BravoCon is always very intense. So much stuff comes in. We want to get it out to you guys, the pictures, the videos, all the tea. So this weekend was like a micro version. If you're not a subscriber, I'm going to walk you guys through what happened this weekend. But I do highly recommend that if you've ever considered joining, this is the time. So much is popping off. Remember, BravoCon is upon us. People are spilling the beans. Never mind what we're going to get on that weekend. And I say that because this is our third one, and it's insanity every time.
I mean, what was it? 2 years ago, we got video of Shep being out of hand in Vegas.
Yeah.
So you guys knew about that way before that they talked about it on.
So many hookups, all of that stuff. I mean, the Ashley and Luke thing, we had all of that.
We have a team standing by.
Yes. No, seriously.
Next weekend.
We're a full team. We have a team. And listen, I get it, like on a personal level, like saying to yourself, oh my God, I'm paying for another subscription. We are not offended. You can always cancel at the end of the month or even the next day. The thing with Cocktail Party, so code MyTreat, it's $5 to try us out. You join November 1st, you get a full month of access, even if you cancel the next day. So you get from November 1 till December 1, even if you cancel November 2nd. Use my code MyTreat, capitalized. With Cocktail Party, you get all the hottest teas. You get the bonus pod. You get this pod ad-free. You get it a day early. We have monthly Zooms. We have access to our amazing community on Discord. And honestly, we have a very high retention rate because we waste money on so many things. Myself, I am a coffee addict, so I spend way too much on coffee. So
I can't even get my coffee for $5 anymore.
I know, which is like a whole other problem in and of itself. But we've got some really good intel. about the Valley.
We're going to save it. Yeah.
On Cocktail Pod.
Yeah.
By the way, our Cocktail Pod last week was like really juicy and people loved it. We really go on like total tangents there. And it's almost, I don't even remember it. When people are DMing me, I'm like, oh God, we did say that.
I think my favorite metaphor for it is what you said, I don't know, a few weeks ago. You said when you have a party and then most of the guests leave and then it's just your good friends that stay. And that's the real talk comes out. You sit on the couch, you have your glass of wine, and that is exactly what
you put your comfy clothes on and your slippers, and you're like, okay, yes, it's much more, it's unfiltered.
So let's talk about, so guys, BravoandCocktails.com/join is where you go to do that. And that $5 is for the first month. It does go to the normal price of $7.50, which is pretty much the normal price of my coffee now. So why don't you tell us about how everything went? Because I think sometimes the behind the scenes is just as interesting as the actual tea. So tell us what happened on Saturday.
Oh my gosh. First of all, I get so excited but nervous but like sweating, and I'm texting Amanda and fielding the DM. So I got back from doing all the sports stuff, right? Got the kids, got the this sport, that sport, the whole thing. I got home Saturday. I was actually like, I had a day to myself where I was like, I can do laundry in my room with my shows on and chill. So there I am, folding my laundry, checking the DMs. 2:20 Eastern time, I get a DM that says, hey B, I have quick real-time tea for you. A friend is at Willow and Whisk in Wyckoff, New Jersey. Teresa is there with Louie, Joe, and Melissa are also there. I don't see any cameras. My sister FaceTimed me to show me, like legit, they're there right now. So I immediately say to the person, please get a picture. And they say, hold on, let me call my sister. Oh no, they're in the back of the restaurant. She can't see them anymore. A bunch of you guys messaged me. Now, mind you, this was all at 2:20. I got the message and posted. You guys are all messaging me, B, the restaurant closes at 3. Like, they got to get this picture fast. So essentially, they obviously bought the restaurant out or asked the restaurant to do them a solid and let them in a little bit before they're in the back room. At the time, we were like, maybe cameras are in the back, but I'm told there were no cameras in the back, which makes perfect sense because the next piece of tea we got, we didn't even get to that yet. Okay, wait, sorry. So we're all going wild in the DMs, posting, I'm texting Amanda, we're on the phone. Then another source reached out to me that goes, B, this is not the first time that Teresa and Joe have met. Their first meeting was productive, and now spouses are involved.
Makes sense.
They said, I'll add, Joe and Teresa met earlier in October in a place that was very special to their parents for about 2 hours. It was just the two of them, no cameras. So this makes sense because Sunday morning I get a message from one of you guys who said, Andy, I was at Andy and Anderson's show in Boston. He said they're giving Jersey time to heal themselves because it didn't work out when they hated each other. So here's what it is. Teresa and Joe met to talk. It went well. All 4 of them meeting to talk. Clearly the network is interested, but not interested in them working it out on camera. They're probably going to wait until they've worked it out. So we're not going to get to see the original conversations. Of course, there'll be confessionals and there'll be some sort of discussion on camera about how they made up. But I guess they're like, we have over the years done this and like, we're not interested in having you hash it out. I'm getting like, get your shit together and then we'll put cameras up.
Right.
Thoughts?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Honestly, I think it's playing out the way we thought it would, right? Because first there was test filming in August, September, and we knew at that time Teresa was not a part of it, but Melissa was. Then I believe it was Gia first who mentioned on a podcast that Teresa might be open to reconciling. And then we hear from Teresa herself mentioning on a podcast that she would be open to reconciling. Because, as we thought, Teresa saw the writing on the walls that filming was going to happen without her. I think she also saw that Melissa got the extra show, the wife swap show, and I think Teresa probably realized that if this was going to happen, she needed to be the one to open the door to reconciliation. So the timing all makes sense, too. This was Saturday, the 1st of November. BravoCon's happening, I think, starting the 12th. So I think that the timing all makes sense. So there's going to be I would imagine there's going to be some sort of announcement made at BravoCon, either that they've reconciled or that they have reconciled and that they will be filming the show. Something is going to happen. So for everybody who has wanted to see them reconcile or wanted to see their ability to at least film together civilly, Christmas is here early because I think it's happening. And I think practically, I'm sure that when I say all of these things, I don't mean to make it sound like for Teresa, it's just about the money and it's just about being on the show. But I would imagine that all of the timing and all of the test filming and BravoCon and all that maybe put some time pressure on it so that she also, like I said, I think it made her realize that she probably needed to be the one to open the door. So,
which is very big for her because she isn't usually the one to cave. And I'll say this, I think a lot of people will say she's just doing it for the show. And I certainly think there's an added incentive. With that said, time does soften things. I think we've all been in situations where we've been very mad at somebody we loved very much and we're very close to.
Yeah.
And time does make you forget. And it also makes you miss the person, right? So you can be really mad at somebody, and as stubborn as Teresa is, I mean, probably one of the most stubborn people, right?
Yeah.
And so's Joe. I mean, you're dealing with stubborn people here. So I'm not, they have the same genetics.
Pride, a lot of pride.
And I just think that what time does is it gives you the space to miss the person. And so you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. And that's what they did.
Right.
And is it going to be the same? No, but it doesn't have to be the same. And I think peace for the sake of their parents are gone, yes, but peace for the sake of what your parents would want. And so who was it? I think it was Melissa on an interview said that Joey saw, was it Audriana? I think the youngest one at a party or something. And they went over and they were like, oh, hi. And like, peace for the sake of the kids. Because at the end of the day, you can't make new cousins. You can make new friends. Right. But you can't make new cousins, and family is important. You have a shared history. So yeah, the show helps, but I think time, and I also think the show is an incentive for Teresa in the fact that she can convince her husband to allow her to make up with her brother because of the show. I think if she didn't have an because it seemed to me, and it's funny, they were replaying the last season and they showed that scene where they were in Teresa's bedroom and he was so mad and he says, I hope Margaret's son suffers and you'll never speak to your brother again. And there was so much anger there. But years later, even that softens, right? And you're like, you know what? This was my wife's career for how many years? And this is how she earns her check. So maybe he wouldn't have been so willing to say, yeah, go work it out with your brother. But I'm sure the show allowed him the space to be like, yeah, that makes sense.
That's such a good point. I hadn't even thought about that.
I also, though, and I know you felt this way too, I think everybody pretty much wanted to see them reconcile. And who knows if we'll get all of the way to this point, but I liked the days when Melissa and Teresa were getting along and had fun and were throwing cake and Siggy was getting mad. It was enjoyable. And you could see like those two, they're so similar. That's probably part of why they have clashed in some ways. So I think all signs are looking really good. I think as we have guessed in the past that Bravo was letting all of the housewives that we know and love just stew on it. And now Andy says letting them heal. But I think that also it's a letting fans miss them and letting the housewives themselves miss being on TV. So I think it's very anxiously awaited by everybody. And mark our words, something's going to get announced next week.
Yes.
At Rock.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
And then as all of that fell into place over the weekend, we got an email on Monday that I will share with you guys. And subject is Real Housewives of New Jersey. It says New Jersey is poised to become a new celebrity hotspot thanks to Netflix's presence. Thanks to Netflix's new $1 billion investment to transform the previously shuttered 292-acre former Fort Monmouth in New Jersey, realtors are already seeing an uptick in property interest and prices as actors, executives, directors, producers are scoping the area ahead of the 2028 completion date. Bravo is already scoping interest of any high-powered individuals moving from LA to be a part of the New Jersey reboot. Although 2028 seems far away, it's really only 2 years. Bravo anticipates getting one more season of New Jersey out by late 2026, early 2027, and then the season after that will be elevated with some women who are planning to make the move. The women attending BravoCon are the only ones that are being considered for next season. Bravo believes if Teresa and Melissa make up, then Margaret and Teresa can too. With Teresa, Melissa, Dolores, Margaret, and Jen Fessler, plus 3 newbies, Bravo believes it will work if the women are actually connected to the cast. Bravo is interested in LIsa Fortunato, who has been friends with Teresa for years and has even been on the show a few times. Her daughter is the one who is roommates with Brooke Shields' youngest daughter. Cocktailers, as the air turns crisp and the holidays draw nearer, comfort becomes the best gift of all. Quince delivers layers that last, sweaters, outerwear, and everyday essentials that feel luxurious, look timeless, and make holiday dressing and gifting effortless. Quince has it all. $50 Mongolian cashmere sweaters made for everyday wear, denim that never goes out of style, silk tops and skirts that add polish, and down outerwear built to take on the season. Perfect for gifting or upgrading your own wardrobe. By working with top-tier ethical factories, Quince skips the middlemen and offers prices 50% less than similar brands. I love my Quince pieces both for my wardrobe and for our home. I'm currently looking at their men's sweaters as a gift for my husband, but don't tell him. The cashmere is so soft, and of course it would be an added benefit to myself when I hug him. The one I'm looking at is the Mongolian cashmere button-down sweater, a very casually cool look that he could still wear to the office. Step into the holiday season with layers made to feel good, look polished, and last. From Quince. Perfect for gifting or keeping for yourself. Go to quince.com/cocktails for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/cocktails to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/cocktails.
So this email is super interesting. I think what they're saying is, let's bring back Teresa, Melissa, Dolo, Margaret, some newbies. Let that carry us through. And if we're going to do a full reboot, or if the new ladies don't work out, we can hone in on all of these high-powered Los Angeles folks who are moving to New Jersey. Again, these things could change. Do Teresa and Melissa, are we interested in watching that? Does it work? Do the new girls pop? Does it work so well that they decide to just keep Jersey with everybody we said plus newbies and then do an entirely different show with these LA folks? All possible. I mean, the reality is, look at New York. We currently have a Summer House spinoff filming, Next Gen New York filming. Soon enough, we're going to have RHONJ filming. So Jersey can certainly have 2 shows.
Yeah, I mean, I think the intel, it seems credible. I did a little research on the new Netflix facility. It's going to include sound stages and production facilities. And I think the location makes a lot of sense because it's within driving distance to Manhattan. So that would increase the talent pool for possible Real Housewives. And I think it's good news. I think we know that they've been taking their time with casting because they haven't been able to quite get it right. They were looking at women a lot farther south in New Jersey, things like that. So
yeah, like I think Cabral, they considered when they were doing test filming and they flopped. But once Teresa threw that Hail Mary on Jeff Lewis, she's out because they said only people invited to BravoCon will be doing Jersey.
Yeah. And I looked at where else Netflix has had ancillary kind of facilities. And one of them is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And apparently quite a few bigger pieces of land and nicer real estate closer to Santa Fe did get bought up when that happened. So again, this feels pretty credible. Guys, gossip doesn't sleep. Neither do we. Monday morning, B woke up to a ton of intel in the DMs, and we also had some other emails. One other quick thing to know, because we have been getting both new cocktailers and just new listeners, new people who are just seeing the website for the first time. We have a whole page that just says send us tea. We actually moved that button right to the top of the website, so it's super easy to reach. So if you're on your phone, which the vast majority of you will be at BravoCon, if you click the drop-down menu at the top right, that send us tea thing is right there. It opens a page. There's a form on there. You can put send us the tea. You can send us videos. You can send us pictures. And don't forget that no little bit of tea is too small ever, because, for example, I mentioned the Shep thing. We got that from a few different angles. We got a video. We got a couple different people sending us the tea. And so then it helped us put together a bigger post and like a little bit more of the story. So, and especially with BravoCon, we are going to be posting everything, pictures of people being seen out in the wild, any things that are shared or that people overhear other people say, like all of it, we're going to be sharing. So especially just a lot of people will have FOMO who aren't there. So then everyone can be in the loop. So just wanted to bring that up because BravoCon is coming up. The other thing is you can put in whatever email you want, or you can put in your real email and then just say, hey, we don't share it. It's Real Housewives of New Jersey at bravo.com, which we know is a fake, but it's a real email. We don't repost the real email. We love it if we get the real email because then we can write back and ask questions. But if you really want to be truly anonymous, you can put in a123 at abc.com and we still get the email, the videos, the pictures that you send, and it'll stay anonymous. Rant over about that. But like I said, we have a team standing by. We're ready. So Monday morning, B gets a DM that Stephen McBee is dating a new girl named Allie. This is obviously coming from somebody who knows them. We know he was rumored to be talking to Sally from Southern Charm a couple of months ago, but it obviously was a quick fling because a few hours after we posted that Stephen was dating this girl, she is an influencer model based in Nashville. Then Steve posted, then she posted, and the relationship was hard launched.
And yes, she looks a lot like Kala, his ex-girlfriend. Beautiful girl. She posted how she loves Mama McBee, both Allie and Casey, his brother's wife and mother, the other brother's mother of his child. Posted that they approve, they love her. We had a cocktailer who actually saw them together at an event very recently, said they were lovely and sweet. He sought her out on Instagram. You guys, I mean, boots on the ground, we love you. They say they're super cute, they're aligned as a couple. She comes from a ranching family in Texas, because a lot of you guys were like, what's with him and these model girls who don't like farms? Actually, she does look like a model. She is a model, but she's from a ranch in Texas. So some juicy tidbits on her. One girl wrote and said, Allie and I are loose friends. I'm so confused by this. She dated Trevor Knight. I have no idea who that is. Probably should Google that. They had a massive wedding to this Nashville guy named Garrett. They got divorced right after. And right after they made their divorce public, it came out that he had another girl pregnant. So the rumor is that she found out that this girl was pregnant, and that's why they got divorced.
Trevor Knight is a former professional football player who was a quarterback. He was a college football player for the Sooners, Oklahoma, and for Texas A&M. Okay.
That's why I don't know him. More good news. She's not a gold digger, because somebody else told me that the ranching family she's from is very well off. The person said her dad is a billionaire. I don't know how accurate billionaire is. Perhaps it is accurate. Clearly, she comes from money. Yeah, so they're currently filming. She's filming. She's been spotted by more than one of you filming. So yeah. And now they're posting like every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
We outed them and they were like, all right, we're out. We might as well.
Yeah. The man clearly has a type. She does look a lot like Kala, but it is nice to see that the whole family approves. And then you see that Steven himself says on Instagram that he's never been so sure about something. So I think he's thinking endgame. Maybe I should just email him. Should I email him and ask?
Ask him to jump on a call with us so we can see him topless.
I like him. I want to see it.
I think he definitely has baby fever. If you follow Steve online, he is enamored with his two beautiful nieces, and he's spending a lot of time with his brothers and their wives. One of them is not technically married. As a matter of fact, his new girlfriend posted a picture and they were hunting, and Cole's girlfriend, she put a heart over her finger and people were like, oh, he's hiding a ring. But then others of you said if there was a lot of blood, they would have blocked that because I guess that gets flagged on Instagram. So I don't know. It is possible they're engaged though, and not saying anything until the show airs. We'll see. Or we'll post about it if we get a confirm on that.
Right.
Hey, listen, guys, if you guys are in the streets, if you see Cole's girlfriend, Casey, that's Casey, right?
Casey is Cole's friend.
If you see her in the streets, please look at her left finger.
What a weird thing. Like, can you imagine too if they're engaged and then she just feels like she can't wear her ring in public because people will report it? What a strange world we live in.
It must be so hard to get used to. I can totally see Steven being ready to settle down, especially because he's the eldest brother. Their family's been through a lot the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And honestly, the cocktailers who reached out that know his new girlfriend, Allie, said she's a lovely girl and a really nice, sweet girl. And he seems like such a nice, sweet guy. So I'm very happy for them. And listen, we'll take all the cute McBee babies and weddings and all that.
And their family has that place in Nashville. So it feels, and it seems to be driving distance between their farm and Nashville because you see them doing that drive on the show. So that seems to fit into place as well. So hopefully, maybe I will email him and ask him what's up.
I think we should.
Okay, so you guys know we record on Thursdays. So that means that the Orange County reunion is tonight, coming off of the final episode where we had the whole fight with Gretchen and Heather, but really it was kind of Gretchen and everyone about liking homophobic posts on Instagram. And then at the very end of the episode, there is a weird kind of disguised voice on a phone calling and talking to, I think it was Gina's phone. The voice was obviously disguised, but the voice says Tamra leaked details about what was going on during the entire filming of the season. The person claimed that they are a blogger of some sort.
So first, for those of you that are asking what kind of posts they were that Gretchen allegedly liked, I'll just share that one of them said that homosexuality opens the door to pedophilia. So that is an example of one of them. So she claims to be an ally, and you cannot be an ally if you believe that a homosexual person is a pedophile.
Right.
Pedophile. I'm sorry. It's very upsetting to even read. Again, we don't know. She claims she did not like them. We don't know. I personally found her reaction to be super weird. It could have been shock if she really didn't do it. Anyway, I don't know. People are saying that there's a lot of evidence over Reddit and in other Twitter and on other areas of the internet, and this has been a thing and fans have seen it, but when she wasn't on the show, it wasn't exactly relevant, but people saw it. Okay, so a lot of you guys were like, that voice at the end of the episode sounded like Slade, and it did. A lot of you also thought it sounded like Jeff Lewis. Here's the thing. That would never get past production, right? They listened to the real voice. They had to sign off. There are things that happen, right, when you go on air, whether it's your voice or even just a copy of your website in our case. But I certainly think it's possible that it's somebody that Slade and Gretchen put up to it because, let's face it, all the women filming knew their content as Gina called it, which I found that really weird too. Your content, it's supposed to be your real life, but whatever. They all knew what they filmed. So yeah, it could have been Tamra. It's possible that Tamra got too big on herself, got messy and whatever. I just don't see Tamra making such a rookie error where somebody would be able to tattle on her like that. Like, I don't believe that piece of it. I don't believe the blogger piece of it. I'm not going to sit here and say that Tamra doesn't talk to people that she hasn't leaked. I'm not aware of it. If she listen, we're in a very unique situation where we do have our send us tea anonymously. So when I say I don't know if someone sent me something, I truly don't know.
Yeah.
We get emails, they truly could be from anybody. I personally would never say who sends me stuff because we're doing this 6 years. And if I say who sends me stuff, why would anyone ever send me anything again? Like I see people posting DMs between them and Bravo celebrities or any other reality stars. And in my head, I'm like, if you're a content creator who wants to continue to get the juice and post it, which is fun, why would anyone send you stuff if you're going to post their DMs? Like I have had hostile exchanges with Bravo celebrities who were so rude and nasty and whatever. And I would never post it. Can't. It's bad for freaking business. Nobody's going to send me anything.
Yeah.
So I just find it crazy. So I know that there are bloggers that do it, but it doesn't seem that Tamra would fall into that trap. It seems like that part of it was created by Slutchen and Gretchen. That's his new name. Slutchen.
I think we got to look at, just they always say, follow the money. We have to look at who would stand to benefit from this happening at the, this, keep in mind, this was happening after filming. So they somehow brought the cameras back. And the person who would stand to benefit the most would be Gretchen, in my mind. And then I think a couple of the other women, I don't see Jen doing this. Maybe a couple of the other women would stand to benefit in some way. And I'm not saying that means that it was Gretchen and Slade. I'm just saying when you look at it, you follow the trail, you got to think about who would stand to benefit the most. And it would probably be her. Although I have to say, why is nobody asking if it was one of us?
Because people know that we would never do that.
Because it wasn't.
Listen, the only thing that ever has been posted for us has been posts from our website. But I have never posted an exchange between me and a Bravo celebrity, nor would I ever.
Yeah.
Whether I like the person or not, I just, first of all, I have to tell you the truth. I find it so tacky when people post DMs between people. I don't know. I guess I'm old fashioned. First of all, and any of you guys who have ever sent me any tea, I never post without permission, right? So if you send me stuff and you don't know how hard it is, I get such good stuff sent sometimes and they're like, but you can't tell anybody. Like, we have cocktailers who hook up with people. Sometimes they come to the Zoom. So again, if you're a cocktailer, come to those Zooms. And they talk about it, but they're like, please don't post it. I don't want them to see it. And I get it. And I always respect the wishes. And there have been times where people are nasty and rude. And listen, it's not that I don't vent to my husband or call Amanda and be like, or text it to her and Amanda writes back, fuck them. But I'm not going to post it for all 169,000 of our followers. That's crazy. And that's stupid. And it's not appropriate.
I mean, I think this could be it could be a two things are true, could be true situation. Do I think that Tamra leaked things that happen behind the scenes to a blogger or to bloggers? Yes, I do.
I think they all do.
I think they all do. I think it's possible that Gretchen liked those posts. I mean, it's possible, but I think it could have been an accident. And I actually thought her reaction at the time was like, if somebody said, did you like a post from 2021 that talked about X, Y, and Z, I'm sure you would have a minute of being like, wait, hold on a second, wait, what? And it could have been about that. Her just not honest, like her kind of going back in her memory. I don't know. I think Gretchen is smarter than that to a certain extent. It's really hard to say. There are so many twists and turns to this whole thing. And then we got an email. So
as we do,
subject Tamra's takedown. A lot of people are speculating the final moments of the Real Housewives of Orange County finale that painted Tamra in a bad light. The anonymous caller wasn't Slade and it wasn't Jeff Lewis. It actually was a credible source that was verified by production. At first, it wasn't going to be used, but the person gave production loads of actual proof that couldn't be used on the show because it pertained to contractual regulations, which gave producers all that they needed to know it was legit. So they decided to include the phone call in the finale. Tamra knows she was caught because both production and the network came down hard on her after the person exposed her as being a major leak.
Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. Because then I get a message that says, the thing is, 32 Flavors producers know exactly who Gretchen is. The
source.
This is the source, the person messaging me, unfollowed her years ago for posting this kind of content. It's nothing new or even remotely shocking. They have wanted a conservative Christian voice to draw more from that OC Newport Beach demographic. Remember when even Gina and Emily supported a right-wing Save the Children fundraising campaign? And Tamra has been doing this for years. Bloggers, random people on Instagram. Remember when she helped people call into Watch What Happens Live to humiliate Kelly? Remember when she sent a boob pic of Vicky? She's been sloppy a lot. But the difference is production suddenly exposed it. That's the only change. So why? It seems like a way to send a message or get out of a contract. Tamra violated her non-disclosure clause and is in breach of her contract. Katie got set up the same way for the same thing. Telling cast inside info is one thing. Gretchen did this. Telling an outsider is a breach. 32 Flavors isn't playing anymore. So this actually makes the most sense to me. No one is surprised that people leak. I don't believe that Tamra would leak. I already went over that. So obviously, but it's possible that she got cocky or pissed off. God knows she's impulsive, right? Hence quitting every 5 minutes. But it just seems to me that this long-term relationship with this one blogger, and what's in it for the blogger? Because once you expose her, whether your voice is muffled or not, your name's going to get out and no housewife is ever going to use you for anything again. And even if it doesn't get out as publicly, all these housewives talk to each other. So I haven't heard that Tamra's out, but we have always heard when she came back that it was a 3-season contract. I think they do 20 big. So I personally, it's not on my radar that Tamra gets cut.
Yeah. I mean, it's got
a lot of
season 20 it's a milestone for all of the housewives shows, not just Orange County. It's a big deal. So,
right. And so people are wondering why Emily and Gina seemingly turned on Tamra so hard because we haven't seen the reunion yet, but we've heard. And I think they recognize, Emily and Gina, that without Shannon, Tamra doesn't really have anybody. Katie may or may not be back, and that's a very weak ally. We know Tamra did not have a good reunion, so that's not looking great. So if Emily and Gina turn on Tamra, Jen and Tamra are not on good terms. Gretchen is most likely out regardless. Shannon's certainly not standing with her. And I truly think that Emily and Gina took this as an opportunity to try to get rid of Tamra. I mean, you have Heather there, but Heather's friends with Tamra, but
yeah,
I think they keep Tamra for season 20. We know that Vicky will be back in some capacity as well.
It would really shock me if Emily and Gina took this as an opportunity to get rid of Tamra, partially because Emily has she's been on 2 T's in a Pod many times.
She has her own podcast under there.
And then she has her own. And
but she's been publicly in interviews slamming Tamra, saying she believes Tamra's leaked to bloggers in this. So
yeah, something fishy is definitely going on. Sometimes when people get away with something, they do it again and they do it again, they keep getting away with it, then they start to think they're invincible, and that can make them sloppy.
That's true.
So it could be that Tamra did get sloppy. I don't know. Like I said, 20th anniversary is huge. Does now really feel like the right time to get rid of Tamra? I don't know. Does production use this more of as a this is your final warning kind of thing? Could be.
Yeah, maybe it'll be done with the leaking, blogging of it all, because that was their whole season. I think we can expect something coming from Tamra and Vicky. They're talking. They're both on the outs with Shannon, is what I've heard. So,
Vicky's on the outs with Shannon too?
I don't know if it's full on outs, to be honest, because I don't keep up with Vicky that much, but I think it is.
We see who does squash the beef.
So next week after the reunion, maybe our opinions will change a little. I don't know. I didn't love this season. First we had the Alexis, then we had the Gretchen. I think we need to, I've been saying it all season. They do 20 big and pause that shit. Let's go to San Diego.
Or let's go to Salt Lake City.
Yes, let's move. Salt Lake City is, oh my God, let's go.
Favorite. It's my favorite. It's my favorite show in general, not just like my favorite reality TV. So LIsa Barlow just throws it out there on the yacht that Todd, Bronwyn's husband, made out with one of Lisa's friends while farting the entire time.
Angie threw it out there, but it's something that apparently Lisa told her while they were all sitting around.
Yeah. Yeah. And I got to say, you posted this morning about visualizing this. I had to admit, I visualized it too. So I guess you and I in our sick minds twin, as the kids say.
I mean, Lisa is so cooked this season. First of all, taking out the farting part, the fact that you're saying that Todd goes around town just making out with hot women, what?
She's coming undone.
She's coming undone. And like Angie, the way Angie said it, and then when they were on their excursion on land, Angie was like, listen, I'm sorry about what Lisa did to you. And Roman's looking at her like, girl, you could have pulled me to the side and told me that. I was totally caught off guard. She didn't even say it. She was just like, okay.
Wild. And then in more infidelity news,
Brittany brings up a TikTok talking about Seth Meredith's husband having a mistress. And Meredith, of course, jumps all over it and says, I am in a monogamous marriage. And then she says, your boyfriend, meaning Jared, breaks up with you whenever he just wants to sleep with someone else.
Yeah, and you're just jealous because you can't hold a man down and you're vile and you're disgusting. And there's stuff floating around on the internet about everybody's husband, but I don't bring it up. I mean, there's so much of the Seth stuff, but I do like anybody can make a TikTok, of course.
right.
It just keeps coming up, but then it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Do they just keep saying this because it was said a long time ago and then the more you say something, people start to believe it? But in the preview for next week's episode, they're talking about how unhinged Meredith was screaming at Brittany on the flight home. And Meredith is talking to somebody who they don't show who she's talking to. And she says, oh, if that was true, there would have been an air marshal waiting for me.
True. I mean,
That is true.
it's
Actually,
screaming.
have you ever been on a flight where someone was escorted off by cops?
No, but I have been on a flight where I was pretty sure I was sitting next to an air marshal.
Oh, what is that? Like, how did
Like, big dude, not on his phone, not like,
just raw dog in the flight, as they call it?
yeah. And like, I just had this feeling, like, felt like he wasn't like in a rush to go to the next place. You know what I mean? He didn't.
Well, wait,
like,
so is there an air marshal on every flight?
No, that they do send them through, like, they send them on lots of flights as a way to, I think it's like a well-known thing, right? I mean, bridesmaids, when Melissa, what's her name? It's like, you're an air marshal, you're an air marshal, and sure turns out to be.
So why are they there, though, to like, in case something pops off?
Yeah.
I have
Just
to
like
tell you.
police patrol my street, not quite daily. And it's not because there's anything wrong. It just is a way to show force, I guess.
We recently were on a flight, not recently, but like whatever, in the last year. And you know how when you buy alcohol at duty free, they make the announcement like you're not allowed to consume any alcohol you purchased on the flight?
Right.
So it was a few rows behind me. But apparently, according to word on the flight, once the people were escorted off, was this couple bought booze on the duty free and they were drinking it. And the flight attendants asked them to stop and they like refused or whatever. And we heard a little bit of loudness when you're in the air and it's like all the noise of whatever. I wasn't really paying attention. I'm sure I had headphones in, but it wasn't anything crazy because it wasn't like people like out of their seats screaming and yelling.
Yeah.
Just like some loudness. So we stop and they make some sort of announcement. Everyone stay seated. We're having something. And
where were you? Was this within the U.S. flight? Or no, you said duty free. So was this coming back to the U.S. or leaving the U.S.?
It may have been coming back from Bahamas last summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
So they come on. So we're landing in JFK though, New York. So they come on the flight. And we're like, oh my God. And then the people they must have been loaded. So apparently what happened was they bought this liquor. They refused to listen to the flight attendants. So I guess when you're in the air, the flight attendants can contact the air marshals or the police, whatever. And when they refused to stop consuming it to avoid an incident, they just stopped telling them to stop and the people just didn't stop. And they were batshit wasted and screaming and yelling and like screaming at the people. And I'm like, mind you, I mean, I got my kids with me.
Yeah.
And they're like, what is going on? It was actually really scary because you realize in a moment like this, Like, you're in very close quarters. So
How
if they
vulnerable we all are.
yeah, if a fight would have really broken out, like, you gotta like duck. We were a few rows above, but so they had to like forcefully remove these people because it's very narrow. And they couldn't get the cuffs on. That was like a whole freaking thing. More officers came on, and then the weirdest thing was as we were all disembarking, they were like standing with them, like they weren't like the people weren't still shouting at them, but like we all like walked by them as they were being like cuffed and everything.
Oh, weird. They didn't get escorted to a room or something.
Yeah, and I'm just like telling my kids, this is why you have to listen to the rules. They're like, I mean, this seems extreme.
Well, I mean, but you think about it, right? Because when some people are people who do get unruly when they have too much to drink. And I will tell you, like, I like a cocktail, but I am really pretty careful about drinking on planes. I like to go.
Well, the altitude gets a little loose.
Yeah, but I like to go to the club or whatever and have the airline club before and have a drink or two just because it helps with my nerves. But
yeah,
I'm like so scared if I have the 2 drinks that I could get flagged because you just never know. I follow a girl I went to high school with who is on Instagram. She is a flight attendant and she talks about stuff that has happened and that she has to call people on call and get people escorted off. And she talks about how they do keep an eye on. And the reason there is that rule about not being able to drink your own liquor is because the flight attendants monitor how much people are drinking.
Right.
And so ever since I knew about that, I'm like, and not that I was like getting loaded on flights before, but I'm like, it's just not worth it. Or if something else did happen and I had slower reaction times.
You want your wits at you. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I also feel for me, like I'm the same. I have a drink or two before I get on, depending on if it's a 6 a.m. flight, although I've been known to have a mimosa. But I also feel like when I'm up in the air, a little bit of wine, like, or a Tito's goes a very long way because of the altitude, right? So
absolutely.
Yeah, now these people were crazy, but that was and I fly a few times a year and I've never seen that, but it was quite disturbing.
Yeah, that'll stick with you. So then we hear LIsa vent to Mary Cosby about Meredith not backing her up, which Mary then takes right to Meredith and says, "You're not a good friend. Go jump in the ocean. I think you're boring. Go find a good story you can tell because right now you're a snooze."
I mean, listen to me. Meredith is a bore to me as well. However, and I love Mary. We all love Mary. But Mary is very fast to forget that Meredith was the only one. When she came back to the show, she was the only one who really accepted her and showed her grace. And that was when Mary was getting a lot of heat for her church and the scandal surrounding it. And she doesn't even like LIsa. So Mary,
I feel like,
mad at Meredith herself. I don't know.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I feel like Mary's anger is more not at Meredith so much as Meredith upholding this alliance that they clearly had, that she and LIsa clearly have, and that Meredith isn't calling. I think she's more mad about that than I think she's like really is like that mad at Meredith for being boring. I think she's just over it because we have this.
No, yeah, because you're not actually friends, right? Like we're not actually friends. You're just going with this because you decided to be allies.
She called them out for being fake. Yeah.
True, good point. And then we see Angie and Heather warm up to Bronwyn now that they have the common enemy of LIsa, which is actually pretty funny because it just happens immediately that they're like all like kikiing and they've never really been friendly with Bronwyn. I hear Angie even said in an interview, she said, 1 minute you can tell someone that they're sucking their way to the top, and the next day you're texting them in reference to her friends with her relationship with Bronwyn, because the reality is they're all turning on LIsa so that the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Something like that. If you're keep your friends close, your enemies closer. I think my opinion, and you guys know I really enjoy Heather Gay. I think Heather's hatred for LIsa is showing. I don't think it was ever really hidden that well. And I don't think Heather really had any deep beef with Bronwyn, but Heather's beef with LIsa has been miles deep. And I'm sure there's a part of Heather that it really bothers her that LIsa has so many diehard fans.
So of course, it makes sense to me.
I can see that. You know what? You've said this theory to me before. I always forget what we say to each other and what we say on here, so don't mind me. But I know that you feel this way. And I think the part that you just added about LIsa having, because LIsa does have fans who don't care how crazy or obnoxious she is. They love it. They ride for it. They let her be delusional.
Yeah.
And I think Heather's generally liked and people appreciate her on the show, but she doesn't have that cult following. And I think she's a legend in her own mind. Even the way she talks and lectures them, and talks about how they've been through so much together. You've been through a reality show together. Relax.
Right.
I feel, and I like Heather. I just find that she takes herself too seriously sometimes. Do you agree with that?
I think
she's too dramatic, or
I think I am the leader, and I think she takes that very seriously too.
Yeah, something about it. It doesn't sit with me.
How do you feel about LIsa constantly talking about growing up in New York?
Okay, see, here's the thing. And I
can't wait to hear what you say.
And I don't want to offend. Listen to me, okay? I love upstate New York. You understand? I went to college in upstate New York. I go there on weekends. It's a lovely place to vacation when you want to get out of New York City, okay? So when you say you're from New York, people assume you're from one of the 5 boroughs. They include Manhattan, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten, Italy, as we call it. They do not include Schenectady, which is where I believe she's from, and which is a lovely area of upstate New York. It's like when you're from Long Island, if you ask one of my friends, I have a lot of friends in Long Island, a lot of people from the boroughs, when they leave the city, they move to Long Island, they move to Westchester, they move to Jersey. They say, I live on Long Island. Or let's say you're out of state. They say, I'm from New York. I live on Long Island.
Yeah.
People say to me, where are you from? I say New York City because I live in a borough. So LIsa is definitely saying with the intent, but it's like living in, I don't know if I can compare it to California, because if I say I'm from California, there's so many different places, but I don't know. Cocktailers, you let me know. I just know that as a New Yorker, like New Jersey, you just say you're from New Jersey and then people say what part. But in New York, you say I'm from New York and then you say the part you're from. If you are from the city proper, you could just say I'm from New York. If you're from somewhere else, you have to say, I even feel like when people say to me, oh, you're from the city, I tell them what borough I'm from. Because the city implies Manhattan and I'm not from Manhattan.
I mean, I grew up nowhere near New York. I live nowhere near New York. If I said, I know this, right? If I said I'm going to New York this weekend, the assumption would be New York City, not Buffalo. And I mean,
right,
it's a Buffalo because
listen,
I was there last year and it's gorgeous.
Our love, Larry Bravo by Gaze, is from Buffalo. And guess what? He tells people I'm from Buffalo, New York. And no shade to our queen, Paige. Happy belated birthday. Yes, she is on vacation with Joe D'Amelio because they both posted matching palm trees yesterday. I don't know exactly where, but good for them. She says she's from New York. She's from upstate New York. And Lindsay, if you remember, called her out on it. And she was like, yeah, I am from Albany and I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Because Lindsay always got heat because listen, nobody on that cast, not nobody, I believe that Danielle is from the city. Carl's from Pittsburgh. Kyle's from Vermont.
Yeah.
Tula's from Jersey.
Or New Hampshire.
Oh, Berner is from Long Island.
She grew up in Brooklyn, I think.
Oh, wait, you're right. Excuse me. You're right. She grew up in Brooklyn, but I think she moved.
She had a place in Shelter Island, though. Yeah.
I
listened to her.
I think she moved out of Brooklyn when she was in like 5th or 6th grade. But whatever, she did live in Brooklyn. I think I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. I don't think she went to high school in New York City. I could be wrong. Anywho.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. LIsa trying to make herself sound tough by saying just New York is, I just have been dying to ask you this all week.
Yeah, no, I love all of New York, so I'm just letting you know. It's just not the same thing.
Had a lovely weekend in upstate New York last September. The leaves were already starting.
What part?
It was beautiful. We flew in and out of Buffalo and then had a sports tournament hour maybe away. So it was upstate and it was absolutely gorgeous. We saw Niagara Falls.
Yes. So there was Niagara, and Buffalo is from me, that's 8.5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. It's But right, the lake is so beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Upstate New York is absolutely gorgeous.
Very hilly and it was gorgeous. So,
And I could live there. I'm not shading it. I'm just saying it's a wonderful place to live. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
All right, guys. We love you.
We do. Let's get pumped up for BravoCon, everybody. Can't wait.
I am manning my DMs because I need to get an eye exam. Waking up in the middle of the night and checking my phone for these DMs, I swear I see so blurry. I used to have 20/20 vision.
Oh, God, me too. I'm same, but mine is more like trying to drive at night. I now have like glasses in my car for driving at night.
I don't have glasses, but you wear glasses normally?
No.
Oh.
No, I went to the eye doctor and they're like, you're not really showing we have an issue, but we understand, we know what it's like. And so they give me this like little slight prescription.
And does it help?
But I'm not having the issue like yet where you have to put my phone really far away. Like I'm not having that, the getting older issue like that. I think I'm getting like I'm self-diagnosing as getting astigmatism from looking at screens all day too. And
looking at screens all day and these new cars, the lights are so damn bright.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
We're old. We sound like old ladies. I'm going to get knit now.
I'm just tired. My eyes are tired.
My bones hurt. We love you guys.
Bye.
What's up, cocktailers? We want to thank you, as always, for listening to Cocktails and Gossip. Because of you, we've hit some amazing milestones, had some hilarious conversations, and have grown a truly amazing community. If you haven't already followed our podcast, hit the follow button in the top right of your Apple Podcast player, the follow button under the show logo on Spotify, or the subscribe button on Google Podcasts. We thrive on you, our audience. So make sure to tell all your gossip-loving friends about us too. And if you want to get all the tea, join our membership cocktail party by going to bravoandcocktails.com/join. Our members get access to the exclusive tea we post, the weekly podcast without ads, plus another additional bonus podcast every week. And of course, members also get to join us on our monthly live cocktail party Zoom, where we talk about the latest tea and even share tea that's just too hot to put in writing. Last, but maybe best, our members get access to the Cocktail Party Discord, where you can chat with Amanda, me, and all of the other cocktailers as well. There are always some great convos and hilarious comments happening in Discord. Thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate you.